with flexibility in mind, I'd like to introduce Iain Sinnott, Sales and Marketing Director at the Cloud Communication Specialist, VanillaIP. Hello, Iain.
Morning, how are you?
Very well. I mean, Philip made some great points in that presentation, and he called out cloud as being one of those pivotal technologies. And I think cloud is your bag. I know you've done some presentations on it in the past. Give us an overview of what you guys do.
Well, the first thing I've learned about this industry is that nobody in our audience needs a close-up of me for the next 20 minutes. So I've put a bit of a slide deck together to protect everybody's sanity while we go through this. But yes, I've really enjoyed this as an event in the past years because I've been invited to come and talk about things that I'm personally passionate about. And looking back when we were preparing for this, you say being different, professional selling, the personalization of technology. These are all elements that really do come together in that world that Philip was describing. And I think will be critical for resellers when they start to capitalize on what is a tragically created opportunity, but a massive opportunity nonetheless. And for those people who don't know us, or for those people who've forgotten how we're made up, the business itself has been around for over 30 years. VanillaIP as a brand emerged as one of the early innovators in the cloud communication space. And we deployed a BroadSoft in 2005. But since then, we've brought together Kakapo for call and contact system solutions, omni-channel contact system solutions, a Kixi for help desk, sales desks, and live user monitoring, Go Integrator so that we can bring together CRM integration, and we've got Qunify for what is now 2 direct plugs into Microsoft Teams, and we've heard quite a lot about Teams. Tango we brought in to just expand quite a broad mobility portfolio to include a true SIM card, GSM SIM card endpoint on our solution. But whilst bringing in those services and quite a few other services in connectivity and mobile space, we've also built a full reporting platform at the reseller level and at the customer level. We've brought in fraud security that actually has a contracted guarantee. We've developed compliant call recording solutions. We've linked together the contract rule and the tariff rule for each product so that customers can start to, or resellers can start to offer customers true self-service and take us towards the e-commerce model, which will exist at the small end of the marketplace. And wrapping around that, we've now got this beautiful and very automated billing solution, which takes care not only of all of this, which I've described, but anything else which the reseller decides to bring in as best in class at the middle. So all this is based around the development of UBOS, which is our multi-level, multi-vendor, multi-product cloud management platform. But it speaks to the need for the reseller to maintain their value by bringing together their best in class and being able to articulate not just a strong front end, but being able to control a really tight and effective back end in their business, because that's where the margin's going to come from. So I think UBOS makes us uniquely positioned to take advantage of this crazily new environment that we're in.
And you've hit the nail on the head that we're in a very challenging situation. What's your opinion on the implications of the COVID crisis on businesses and the wider ICT channel?
Well, I think COVID-19 will have an impact on every business or on all of us, because it's had an impact on every business in the UK. And we've seen some crazy stuff. We've seen Zoom go from 20,000 users to 200,000 users in a month. Don't sue me if that figure's wrong. I mean, those guys have got the not insubstantial task of turning a free product into a chargeable product. So we wish them well with that. But we've seen technology, smart technology and remote meeting tools go from being peripheral to pivotal in the deal-making process. We've seen buyers becoming exposed, I think this is really where the COVID-19 is going to have an impact. The buyer has been dramatically changed. They have a different attitude to the products and services that we deliver. They've had 3 months to be exposed to remote working and virtual meeting tools. They've had 3 months to assess the productivity of their staff working from home, and you heard what Philip had to say about that. So they're now asking the questions: can we reduce cost in the office costs? Can we reduce costs through business travel? Can we reduce costs in the people that we hire? So that's going to be an element. They've also been exposed to the danger of not being equipped to either change rapidly or be prepared for change. So I think when the salespeople get it back out there to talk to these buyers properly, they face a radically different challenge.
One of the biggest issues is that with this new world, skills have to change. What skills should the channel be looking for now that they may not have had before the crisis?
Well, unsurprisingly, I think the first thing that I would say is that salespeople need to start to master this environment, this virtual meeting environment, because this is definitely here to stay, and I think it will be used to control the sort of first interactions between sellers and buyers going forward. So, and in this space, you can already start to differentiate yourself and bring some skill to it. If I'm going to meet with you and I know that you're a Teams user, I'm probably going to send you a Teams meeting. But if I know you're not a Teams user, I'm actually going to send you a UC1 Trio. That's now part of the full WebEx stack. I'm going to send you a meeting for that, because long term, I can make more margin selling the benefits of the WebEx stack than sharing you with Microsoft as a 365 user. So by just taking the time to do it properly, I can get that first interaction on the most fertile ground. Once there, I think I'm going to have to, as a reseller, deliver quite a portfolio of choice, because people have had lots of different experiences. They've engaged with lots of different tools, and they've got lots of very different home environment challenges to get around. So salespeople who can have good product knowledge, who can use great questioning technique to refine down a bespoke or a tailored solution to endpoint staff, I think will be more successful. And I think people are going to have to bring a bit of theatre and a bit of pizzazz to the presentation. You know, bring these products to life, sell through confidence and belief. And again, we're talking about the traits of true professional salespeople. But the one big change that I think is going to be required of resellers is going to be the delivery of a different model, a different commercial model to the customers. We're emerging into a recession, whether that's long or short, deep or shallow. It's a recession, and it creates nervousness. And rolling everything into a 5 to 7 year deal might just not play very well at the moment. Selling a 3-year deal to somebody who can't forecast 2021 may be impractical day one.
Okay. You mentioned UBOS at the start of this session. It's effectively a cloud portal. How are you using that to help channel partners with this transition?
Well, I think if we start off where we were just talking about the commercial models, being able to control different commercial models, being able to utilize a back office tool to control the commercial distribution of your product is important. If at the moment you can deliver a 30-day product to your customer, true cloud, if commercially you can do that, I think you can disrupt the marketplace. I think you can grab market share, because you're going to be appealing to this newfound desire for technology, but also the fragility that people feel when they're in a recession. So I'll take the risk, you take the product, 30 days is a good move. And we mustn't forget that when the mega cloud players really come into our space, the Microsofts, the Zooms, the Ciscos, the Amazons, whoever else joins, they're not going to come in with a 3, 5, 7 year deal. They're going to come in with cloud, and they're going to defy anybody that isn't the way to buy these products. Yeah. Having said that, if you require cash in the business, if you can't just turn off that model and move to the other one, UBOS is the perfect tool to allow you to either run the old school model or to blend in, maybe contracting the base level, the PBX stuff, and still offering this true cloud experience for productivity tools that allow you to do the sales and marketing speak in the cloud space. And I suppose just moving on from there, and we talked about it a bit, I think, last year, being able to layer services together. BroadSoft is an element. but in a solution, it's probably one of 5, 6, or 7 elements, and that grows over time. And that genuinely, I think, is the model for the sales process going forward. And it's the model for cloud communication. So telecoms players need to work out how to get into that space, because I'm telling you, the IT crowd are sitting just off looking at the same opportunity, and they may very well think with their software background that they're starting off from a better place. So in UBOS terms, just add the back office, and I think those are some of the key elements that are going to come into play.
We asked Philip about the opportunities for businesses, but focusing on the salespeople, those at the cold front, where are the opportunities for the sales teams out there in this new world?
Well, I think first of all, we should say that this pandemic may just deliver seismic change, not only to the landscape that we're working in, but also to the teams that the resellers may choose to put together. If the 5- and 7-year deal is disappearing and being replaced by a 30-day true cloud model, then I can see the value of the hunter in the team falling perhaps below the value of a well-organized farmer, an account management type player. And I think we know that hunters are expensive. We know that they're hard to find. We know that we probably had to kiss a few pretty expensive frogs in order to find a prince. If we as businesses, if resellers as businesses can find a different way to engage with the customer first, still the hardest part of the sales process, right? If we can engage with them differently and get them to join us in a collaborative evolution of technology for productive benefit, then perhaps we can see sales revenue growing, but we can actually see the cost of sale falling down. And that's quite an interesting scenario to consider. So, and we had a conversation or two yesterday in the meetings after the first session about this sort of thing. Perhaps the first pitch is not about the technology that will be used, but about the consumption model. Perhaps I'm going to say, Mr. Customer, I'm going to take away the risk. I'm going to bear the risk of finding the right solutions with you. I just need you to say that you're going to engage in a proper open process of investigation. So de-risk and this account management perpetual sales process may be the way forward for many sales teams. With one caveat, the best salespeople in the marketplace will take this portfolio of services and this newly attentive bunch of buyers and have an absolute field day.
Okay. On a practical basis, what are you guys at VanillaIP doing to help channel partners make that transition?
Well, I think two things really is that we would say to people, you know, seize the day. It's not really a time to sit around and wait and see what goes on. Disruption really causes opportunity for those people who are prepared to get their hands dirty. So I think if salespeople go out, listen to the customers, demonstrate everything, bring everything to life, outperform the people who are prepared to turn up at the moment with a PowerPoint presentation or a price list or that sort of thing. But I think selling something that you believe in is step one. And probably I'd say the most vital thing is talk to your bosses and get them to pick VanillaIP as a supply partner, because then you can come and learn our products and we'll support you in bringing them to life, and you can phone every prospect that you've got. But in terms of support, it is worth stating that for us, this new normal is our old normal. Our resellers have been working in this sort of mode for some time, either with the full 30-day proposition or a blend between a contracted PBX core and an overlay of cloud communication services. We've combined training in the past between product and sales technique, but this year in January we launched a brand new sales training program, which I think is really helping our teams out. And that was the demonstration of product, bringing to life the products through live demonstration and proving their value in front of the customer. And that was all organized and done pre-COVID-19. And every salesperson that attended it got £1,000 worth of demonstration licenses. So how are we supporting the salespeople? We are arming them with the tools to bring the solutions to life and to elevate the opposition when they go to see the customers. And we'll back them up with specialists who'll come in and help with any complex designs or high value deals that need proper supporting. And we'll continue to innovate and give them new revenue streams to sell into the channel.
There are a lot of partners out there that are making that transition towards a more service and cloud orientated sales focus. Are you specifically going out and searching for a particular type of partner? What's the sort of demographic that you're looking to recruit into your channel?
Well, I think that Paul Taylor nearly said anybody with a pulse yesterday. We're always tempted to kind of go down to, you know, whoever. I think it would make me happy if we had a load of people coming to us who truly believed in this cloud world, this 30-day, this de-risk, this perpetual sale. So we welcome with open arms people who are looking at cloud the way we've been looking at cloud for some time. But this is really about what VanillaIP think, about what Iain Sinnott thinks. UBOS has been designed to support everybody's own mechanics. So if you are in the old world and you need to still generate that lump sum, UBOS can help you to do that. It can help you to overlay that with cloud, and it can help you to transition. So anybody who feels a need to start in the old world but move and change and adapt over time, we can help with that. Anybody who's just discovered that their portfolio no longer covers their customers' needs or any prospect that their salespeople are going to see, you'd be very welcome to come and see us. And anybody who is in a hurry to move a legacy solution, perhaps a PBX base, across into the cloud, for everybody, we've developed a really simple support solution at this stage to help them get energy immediately into their own base protection and market share grab. And that is that the PBX replacement license, the core one, we will give them 12 months free for any new business being brought onto the platform. That just helps facilitate, you know, an incentive to the customer or incentive to the salespeople to get the job done. And we've refined a few packages as well. Education was always a difficult one for the cloud players to get into. So we created a classroom license at 130 or thereabouts. And that just opened up a phenomenal marketplace for our guys.
Yesterday we talked a bit about the SME, these 250 and above companies, which are often the most profitable and willing to explore innovation, change, cloud transformation. How do you get to these high value proposition clients in your view?
Genuinely, I don't really segment it in that way, because I think the beauty of cloud communications is it's a very personal thing. So the challenges of a big business and the challenges of the small business are relatively similar because of the challenges of the human resource and making the human resource productive. So I think what I'd say to a reseller is, you know, aim to meet the actual needs of the customer. You know, savings are done by delivering the right technology, not the minimum technology. So pitch what you believe to be the whole solution, not a cut down version because you hope to squeak the deal on price. And there's always somebody cheaper coming along. The key for any sector will be to arm and train the salespeople to be good at their job. Make them informed about the product, skilled in asking questions, exciting in demonstrations, but critically make them enthusiastic and passionate about value, not about price. I think matching the commercial model to the requirement of the customers, be they big or small, is important. There'll be some fragile businesses out there, and if you can de-risk and join them in a real hunt for savings across their business, they may buy more from you, they may accelerate that growth quicker, and they may stay longer than the original contract was ever going to do for you in any case. And finally, whether it's corporate or whether it's small business, whether you physically see them or just do everything virtual, use account management to continuously grow the layers and refresh the contact that you have with the customers.
Perfect. I mean, we're thankful we haven't done I've been in the industry for 35 years today, so that's good. But what I would say is, when you guys first started with your first offering, you were doing something that is now called cloud before it was called cloud. How do you differentiate yourself in this world where you've described them? There are so many companies coming into this space. What makes VanillaIP different in this cloud world?
Well, I think, you know, I've talked a little bit about what we've talked about in the past, because I wanted to stress that we are here because we wanted to be here, because we believe we should be here, and we believe the industry should be here. So the fact that the transition model that we thought would take 2 to 4 years to get here got zoomed forward, pun intended, got zoomed forward by 2 to 3 years, just means that we stand ready to immediately help the partners to engage with the customers and move forward. But we critically changed our focus to demonstrating the capabilities, because there are a lot of people who can write functionality down on a feature list, but can it come to life? Does it work out of the box? Is it a good product? And sellers need to be prepared to do that. Our resellers have been doing this for some time and generating great deals. In lockdown, we've seen them close 1,000-seat councils, multiple 100-seat schools and academies, and deliver tens of thousands of extra services to thousands of customers. So we know all this works, but we know it works because of the investment that we put into the development of the services and the back office. So the fact that VanillaIP, 80% of our staff, 100 people, are in the development team, means that we have been, and we are proud to continue to be, the software arm of our resellers, and they'll need one to battle through into the true cloud marketplace. But we've delivered UBOS. That's our differentiator. It holds the key to the 3 core elements of what the reseller needs. The elegant delivery and control of a broad and exciting portfolio, the ability to run, manage, and easily use different models, different commercial models, and finally, the ability to have a tight, efficient, cost-effective back office. For a reseller in the cloud space, that's the equation for rapid and sustained growth.
Perfect. So we have some time for some questions. And today seems to be the day of questions. We've got 3 up already. I'll take the most recent one first. So this might be a little bit technical, but we'll see how we go. Can a partner add additional value with your solution above and beyond Horizon, given that it's based on the same platform and shared add-on like AX? I can't pronounce it. AXI.
Akixi?
Akixi. Oh.
Akixi. Yeah, there you go. Well, I think it's very interesting to say. We got a long time ago. We talked about BroadSoft. Okay, I think we all realise now BroadSoft is an element, a good dial tone package that sits below. But neither us or Gamma only sell a BroadSoft proposition. We blend together. We bring together what we feel is best in class. I think where the difference comes with what we do with UBOS is, the reseller has to be the communer of what they believe in, so they should bring the services in. So we made UBOS an open platform into which you can either take our best in class and say that's great, or you can bring in and mold in and blend in other products and services, both from a sales proposition and a smooth back office billing proposition. So yes, we can deliver infinite difference because the reseller can choose what that difference is.
Okay, good answer. We've seen a lot of new entrants move into the cloud space in ICT recently. Some services are great, some services are so-so. Is there an issue now that sort of, I hate to use the word, but unscrupulous resellers, this is a question, not my rambling statement, could move into the market to customers that are maybe not sure about what value or features or capabilities they actually need? Is there a sort of a Wild West element emerging around the cloud?
I don't get a sense of this. I've always had a sense that people are trying to wrap up a quick deal and get out there before anybody rumbles what they're up to. So I think the danger is that the customer doesn't put enough focus on it. But the customer is much more informed now. They're at least, they have their head up and they have their ears open. And I think if you're a good seller and you show everything and you tell the customer that they should not only understand the product but see it working, you can prove that you can do it, and then they should ask every competitor to prove that they can do that. And if there are cowboys around, if they can't prove that the product works through the demonstration, if they're not putting it on a 30 days so it gets thrown out if it doesn't work, the customer should not buy it. So a good seller can compete against cowboys anytime as long as they're good enough to control the process.
And the very, very final question, I've asked everybody this morning the same one. Are you broadly optimistic about the future of the ICT market post-COVID? Do you think we're going to be stronger coming out than we were going in?
I try and sound as remorseful as I can about the COVID crisis, because it is a tragedy for humans and it's a tragedy. It's going to be hard for the economy and everything. However, proper cloud players have been battling against apathy and old world messages for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And the fact that all of the buyers just got shook up and introduced not only to the dangers of staying in the old world, but the very real benefits of the cloud communications marketplace. This is great for us. We can now go and do our job properly and expect to see people meet us halfway and look for that great solution. So I think people who've got a lot of invested revenue in the past are going to have more of a job, but there is a massive marketplace out there to go and convert into a new world. It's just lock and load, get the right product, get out there and do it properly.
Perfect. So Iain, thank you for your time this morning. I just want to stress as well that there are slots available for one-to-ones in the afternoon session. So you can use our online portal and book those up with Iain. And Iain, again, thank you for your time this morning. It's been wonderful speaking with you.
Pleasure as always to join this particular event. Take care.